Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. Sorry we're a few minutes late. Hashtag blame the pixie. Blame the pixie who completely forgot that it was tonight that we were doing this. She's there now and she's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh dear, it all adds to the drama. There's never a dull moment in the Makery. So, hiya, welcome to another little broadcast that we're going to be doing this evening. This is going to be my first sort of midweek on an evening sort of broadcast. So we're going to see what you guys think. Hi Donna, hi Julie. So yes, I think we're starting to get gremlins rather than pixies now, Sarah. So. But we made it, and we are here to make this little guy, the Calla Lily Brooch, and this is sort of a make it with, because we are going to be making it with existing templates, or existing template, or an existing template. Good grief, my grammar. So I hope that we are now coming live to you across both the Facebook group, the Facebook page and YouTube. The last little broadcast that we did was very rapid. It was sort of a really quick fire sort of broadcast just to see if the software and everything was going to work for us. And fingers crossed, we're coming to you live now across YouTube as well. So what we're going to do is I've got a couple of things to tell you. And I'm really excited. Hi Anne. So what I've done is I've done a thing, and I've decided that we're gonna do a actually no, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm gonna leave you in suspense for a minute. The drama. But I am gonna tell you that right after this broadcast, well, as soon as it takes me to recover from the broadcast and have a cup of coffee, the Sitting Kitty template will now be live, and there will be a tutorial that will also be live pretty much straight away on the YouTube channel as well. So that'll be about 5-10 minutes after the broadcast finished, so that will be live. And the other lovely little bit of news that I've got is that Mum's Makery is going to be going live on the Creative Craft Show, and it will be on the Tuesday, which is I hope it's a Tuesday, the 23rd of June at 7 o'clock, and it will be live on the Creative Craft Show channel, which is on Facebook. I will do links in groups and pages and all over the place afterwards, so really looking forward to that. Which brings me back to the thing what I did, and the thing what I did was decide that for that show there's going to be something new. Going to tell you what it is. But I do know that you're going to like it. It's going to be a really sweet little project. I'm going to say up front, the templates for this are the weirdest you've ever seen. It's so weird. So I'm just going to leave you with that one. But we're going to make this. So we're going to hop over to the camera. Some of you may recognize this guy. This is the medium, I think it's the medium, is it the medium? Yes, the medium beech leaf. And if I show you this now, you can see where we get that from. So this is the base for this. Other things that you're going to need, this is bonkers because usually I've got my overhead camera, so you can sort of see all the tools and equipment, but I'm going to have to bring them onto screen one by one. I am going to be using, let me just grab the tops off my fluff tubes. I'm going to be making another classic white, so I'm going to be using our white wool. mainly because white comes out better and you can see it in the template. I'm also going to be using our moss and our bright yellow. I have me a 24 gauge wire. I have some dark green or some moss florist tape. I've got these little brooch backs, and for those who are interested, these are 20mm brooch backs. And I have, of course, my little pocket scale. See, I've blue peated it and I've already weighed out my wool ready. In addition, obviously, I have my foam surface, on top of which I have my flat mat, and then I've got a felt topper. Obviously, I'm using a corresponding colour, or a coordinating, an opposite colour so that you can see that. I've got some scissors, some pliers, some wire cutters, and obviously my needles. That's everything that you need. It's a really, really sweet project. So, medium beech leaf, and for that I have weighed out 0.7 grams of the white wool. And I do love the beech leaf. It's such a simple shape. So I'm just going to grab, I've got about half of my wool, and I'm going to lay it down and just overhang that template and then run around that edge. Very, very lightly. All we're doing at the moment is just compacting the fibres a little bit in the template. We're not really felting down. Start on the outside, work towards the middle. I'm going to pull off a little bit more. Go up in that tip. And just get those fibres down in. We're looking for just a nice even covering. A little bit more. Around this side. Pull those fibres in. I'm just going to check, a little bit thin on that side still, so my last little piece I'm going to put round in there, and that's it. Very, very lightly. I'm using my 40 spiral. I always use my 40 spiral. It's pretty much my go-to for the beginning, the middle and the end. But I find that I work better with the lighter needles. It just doesn't felt quite so fast for me. And as you can see, it's barely holding on to the surface. So just back into the template. Let me just get us back to where I was. So how are you guys doing? I'm sort of looking at chat, hence why I'm patting this. I'm not patting it because it needs to be patted. I'm patting it because I'm reading what you guys are typing. I'm going to use my felting, my punch tool, and just lightly go around in this. This is for speed. I think all of the needles in there are 40 spirals as well. I'm just going to go round it. I do apologise about the noise. I don't know if you guys have noticed, particularly in the Facebook group, but the pixies have been awfully quiet of late. It bothers me because it usually means that they're plotting something. So I've gone over with my, I call it my clattering tool, my punch tool, And I'm just going to come in with my multi-handle. And I do like this one, it holds 3 needles, again spirals. And for this, because this is going to be a brooch, so it's going to be worn and handled quite a bit, you want to make sure that this is really well firmly felted. So I will be spending just a little bit of extra time on that. Let's just loosen it from the mat. I do find that our white wool is particularly good. It's really crispy. I don't know if that's something to do with the bleaching process that it goes through, because this is proper white. It's not an off-white, but it does felt so firmly and smoothly. It's nice short fibre. Okay, almost there. I'm going to go over with my clattering tool again. And then I'm just going to come back in with my single needle. Just pay attention to those edges. And then I'm going to go over it again once more for luck. And this is super quick. I think I made a, what did I make? What's one of those round things what I stuck all the leaves on? A wreath. I made a wreath ring, and made about a bajillion of these leaves. So it's good that they're very quick. Okay, I think that will do it. And as you can see, it's come out really quite firm. I've kept one side facing the mat. I always do that. So I'm just going to go back and just tap the other way, and this is bouncing off. There's no driving into the mat. And for those of you who do have a flat mat, you will know what I'm saying when I say when you hit the density of that mat, you can feel it and you just stop. You know, you get such a shallow felt with your needles. You don't need to use the whole needle. So there we go. I think that will do for it. You can feel it's so firm, it's so crispy. What I would now do is iron it. But I'm not going to iron it because I tried using the iron on the last broadcast and it was so stressful. So I opted for not ironing it this time. Let's see. Who's about? Hi Anne. Hi Pamela. I hope you guys are all enjoying the slightly cooler weather, because oh my god. Right, so here's one I prepared earlier. Ta-da! And what I did was when I ironed it, it was full steam, full heat, and I've kind of just pulled it a little bit just to elongate that top. So like that. Okay, so we'll go back. That was the wrong button. This was the right button. So here's the ironed one. And that's the bottom, there's the top. So I've just pulled it a little bit. So what we're going to do now is add a little bit of green going to add just a pinch of moss to the bottom. So this will be this bottom bit, and we are only adding, I mean, it really is just a few hairs. In fact, I'm not even going to lay all of those down. I just want a very fine spread. I'm going to use my multi-punch and just punch a little bit that side. You could do the moss before before you iron. I don't think it matters. So I'm just gonna tiny little bit on the end, because we want, that's not working out too well, is it? Maybe putting the moss on before you iron is the right way to do it. I'm just going to tease those fibres around, just dot them about. So we don't want a whole block of colour, we want almost like a bit of a gradient. We only want it on the outside, just so we've got something that sort of goes from the white through to the florist tape green. It's not quite so much of a sort of a straight line then. Added that little bit of green. In fact, actually looks better on that side, so I think I might use that as the outside. Don't know, we'll see. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is make our little stamen, and for that you're going to need not very much. I will weigh it for you guys, what I'm using. That's probably enough. 0.1, so I'm using 0.1 of a gram and a 24 gauge wire. You can probably do this with a half a wire, but I'm just going to use a whole one. Bend it in half and give yourself a loop like that. Elongate your little bit. This is the no glue option. We like the no glue option. Just put a bit of the fluff through there. So there's my loop. Put a bit of the fluff through and pull it up. Then just go ahead and twist. A 24 gauge is, it's not a really sturdy wire, but when it's doubled over it is good and strong. Then what I've done is just, I'm going to squish the end, just make sure it really pinches that wool. So we have our little bit of a tuft, and then just twiddle the wool down the wire. Oh, voila! It's going to need a little bit of, just a few little light stabs, just to help hold it. Just going to poke the end down a little bit so that it's a rounded top rather than a pointy one. Roll it between your fingers. You could wax this if you wanted to. I know the stamens in the Calla Lily project, there's wax there for those, but you could wax or not, entirely up to you. And then, yeah, the wire gauge that I'm using here is 24. is it? Oh, there it is. So what we will do, can you see how this is coming together now? Look, how cute is that? So this part I have done is it's about, from there to there, it's about 3 centimetres, so about 30 mil. So I'm going to put that down in there and pinch that around, and then you decide how far up or down you want your stamen to be, and pinch it down. And now we are using a driving motion with the needle right through, using all of the barbs on the needle. I'm still using my 40 spiral, but do try to keep it just in this little bit down here. There, that's holding together. And I'm using now just the first barb on my needle, really, really lightly, tiny, teeny tiny little stabs. There, like so. The next thing to decide is how long you want your little stem, and on this one I've done it quite short, so I'm going to do it about the same. Just pick something that sort of looks proportionately correct, and then grab your wire cutters. And what I tend to do is, so I'm going to cut it there, so I'm going to come down just a little bit further, nip that off, and then I'm just going to bend back the very tip and crimp it down, and then you don't end up with any severely pointed wires sort of sticking out. The florist tape will take care of that. So what I'm going to do now is grab a tiny little bit more of the moss colour, and I'm going to sort of half overlap it, so we've got this sort of blended part. Hang on. Oh, hold on, I've got a question. Sorry, what was that, B? I don't sell the brooch backs currently, but you can, I mean, you can get them on eBay, but if you absolutely need one, then just shoot me a message. I don't know. I've got a couple of them if you need one. Right, so what I'm going to do, what I just did was I just put a few tacking stabs along that little piece, and what you find is it helps the integrity. Because this is short fibre, wrapping is it's not problematic, but it's not as easy as it would be as with long fibres. So I'm just going to attach the first bit of that fibre there, and just take it round the very, very tip of the base of that petal. Do lilies have calyxes? What is the plural of calyx? I don't know. This bit at the bottom, and then I'm just going to wind around and just keep winding. Just hold it with my fingers and just keep winding round and round and round. And you get that sort of gradual little bit. We're not worried about this down here. This is all going to be florist taped. but I just want a little bit of that gradual, so that it doesn't just go, you know, project thin wire. Okay, there we go, almost there. Little bit of the florist tape, and you don't need much, but we're going to put a couple of, I'm going to go up and down. So activate the florist tape, you just pull and stretch, and then hold it, lock it on itself, wrap it all the way down to the bottom, go ever so slightly past, and then come back up. And you can, I think, 2 passes, sort of, so one up and then one down, would be enough. It looks thick enough. I'm just going to roll that in my fingers a minute. There we go. There's that. I'm just going to give that a little bit of a bend so it's not really, really straight. And then for the brooch. So there are probably a few ways that you can do this. Where's my other one? There it is. What I did was I felted it in place. You could dot some glue, then put some felt over it. You possibly could stitch it. I don't know. I find that the holes in this are big enough that you can felt. So I'm going to use some white. Just stack it, hold it in place. And this part just takes a little bit of time, because you've got to find the point where you can get that needle through past your stamen and everything else. So in through those holes, can you see that? Whilst trying not to stab you and it and, and the mat. And then once you've got a few of those fibres down through those holes, just felt on the outside, either side of it. You may find that gluing is easier. I tend to not get on very well with glue. So felt where I can. So that's starting to hold in place now. Pull that over. And again, I'm just using the first, I don't know, maybe 10 mil of my needle. I'm not, you know, I'm not doing this all the way through. Both sides, down through the holes. And you just keep going until it's nice and tidy and looks a little more like that. And you can always add a little bit more fluff. The idea is to really sort of get it held in place. I think maybe glue and then felting would probably give you the strongest option. But there, I will declare that done. I would probably put a little bit more on there. Then come back and just tidy it up where it needs. and you have made yourself a little Calla Lily brooch. Just going to neaten up inside just a tiny little bit. There. Two little Calla Lily brooches, and how long did that take? Less than half an hour, and you've got a sweet little gift. You know, if you do craft fairs, or you know, you're looking for something a little bit different to put on your Etsy shop or something, give it a little you know, a card label or something with a couple of holes, and then pin the brooch to it, and it's so simple and it is so quick. And I've done them in the white, but you could do them any colour, any colour, and it would just be, there's such a nice make, and so quick. We like quick. We do like quick. So that's it. That was all. I'm just checking I've got a list down here, and that's everything that's on my list, apart from Christmas in July. We will be having a Christmas in July special. It will run the entire length of July, so all of the Christmas stuff from previous will come back out. So the poinsettia and all that good stuff will be coming back. There will be some new projects, and I'm not going to tell you what they are, but Pixie Sue is busying away, and if anybody knows Pixie Sue, you might know what the project might be, but I'll leave you guessing on that one. We've got some new templates coming, especially for the Christmas season, and I absolutely love them. Everything for Christmas in July will be available for the entirety of July, and the Christmas in July event, that's going to be on the 4th of July, so that starts at 11:30 and runs through. There are 2 live broadcasts, there's 2 make-alongs, there's the games and the flingo. Bee loves the flingo, don't you, Bee? Tell them about the event boxes. Yes, boss. There is an event box for the Christmas in July event. You don't have to have the event box in order to join in. You will need it if you want to join in the raffle and the flingo, because your cards are in your event box. One of the live makes that we do on the day, you don't need to have the event box for. It's a completely freehand make, so you will be able to make it with your own supplies if you need to. But if you do have the event box, you get everything in there to join along with both of the live broadcasts, and there is a brand new template in that box as well, so which is to create something quite good, actually. I'm really looking forward to the Christmas makes, but there we go. But also throughout July there will be other makes as well, so all with a festive sort of twist and theme on them. There's going to be a complete, I'm not going to tell you what it is. I sound so secretive, don't I? But I love surprising you guys, and there is going to be a freehand make, 3D something, a little 3D something, which makes a change for me, I know, and this might lead on to other things, so we'll see what happens there. But I am really excited. There's Christmas all over my damn house. I've been having Christmas for about 3 weeks now. It started to migrate to Bee's house as well. So. But that's it. That is the little Calla Lily brooch. Please don't forget that at the end of this broadcast, the Sitting Kitty template will go live on the website, and the YouTube channel will have the tutorial for it live as well. And just to recap, we will be live on the Creative Craft Show on the 23rd of June and that will be on the Creative Craft Shows Facebook group, not on my group, our group. So I will put links and there will be a post, and that's going to be a brand new, never before seen project that I've been working on this one for a while. It has been a labour of love, but the result is so pretty and I love it so much. So, Calla Lily Brooch, quick and simple, love it. And just the rainbow sheep, thank you. I don't know, my chat doesn't necessarily tell me who's talking. I can see some names, but if you're talking to me from the Mums Makery Facebook group, who is it? It's Susan. Thank you, Susan. Rainbow sheep. There, rainbow sheep. Thank you, Pixie Sue, because my aim's got worse. Pixie Sue made that and sent it to me because she made one, and I'm not going to say that I bombarded her with where's mine, but she might have got a few messages and then she got the hint. So she sent me one and I love it. Look, usually it hangs in the window there, but I hung it up for, oh my God. But I hung it up especially for the broadcast. Right, that's it. We're absolutely done. Calla Lily Brooch, I would really, really love, if you're not already, do hop over, and if you're not on YouTube, then where are we? YouTube. If you join our YouTube channel and subscribe, there's a little bell icon, and if you hit that, you'll be notified when I upload new videos, and I've got some new stuff coming. And thank you so much for spending your time with me this evening, and I wish you all a very crafty evening.